This is Christy with Time to Profit. I am super excited about this week's topic. We are talking about 3 ways that you can really stand out from the competition and set yourself apart so that you are not selling on price. If you are new around here, my name's Christy. I think I already said that, but I'll say it again. I help consultants, startups, and business owners create consistent cash flow and predictable profits with impactful strategies and rock-solid sales skills. I once heard a business owner say there are very few problems in business that sales can't solve, and I couldn't agree more. But one of the things that I hear a lot is that I have clients that ask me, or business owners will ask me, how can we be better at differentiating ourselves? Or how can we really stand out in the marketplace in our sales conversations? But more often than not, what they're really asking me is, how can we stop competing on price? I feel like, and they'll say things like, I feel like my customers are really price shopping and they end up just going with whoever is the least expensive. And they're not really understanding what the value is that we bring. So this is a tough one because there are a lot of different factors at play. I'm going to actually talk a little bit more about how to get in front of the price conversation in next week's video. But whether or not your customers are shopping on price, or whether you just feel like you're not winning enough, there's likely a scenario where maybe you're thinking about differentiation from a not entirely great perspective from a sales strategy. So let me just say this. There are really, very truly not a lot of differentiated products on the market today, right? And while you and your service that you offer, the product that you sell might have some cool bells and whistles, some interesting features, right? If you're a consultant, you're probably more fun to work with. You probably have more experience in what you're doing. You probably can help them more efficiently. All of that's great, but I can almost guarantee you, no matter what line of business that you are in, that there is somebody who is offering something similar to you in the marketplace. And that person who is offering something similar to you is likely somebody that has a bigger marketing budget, maybe has more experience, maybe who has more network, has a deeper network and more connections, or more customers that they've worked with, or some other advantage, right? There are people out there who are doing things similar to you are and who are doing it well. So how do you really stand out in that situation? And I don't say this to dishearten or to discourage. I'm saying this because it's better to put it on the table so that you can create a solution before you spend hours of time trying to win a client only to find out that they're price shopping and they're talking to all of your competitors and they're simply going to go with whoever gives them the lowest line item, quote, or amount on the budget. So how do you stand out in this environment that we work on where there's a lot of competition? Their consumers have access to the internet, right? They can go Google solutions and they're going to get pages and pages of results. So how do you stand out, especially if you don't have a huge marketing budget, or you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on Facebook ads or Google ads, or really have the time to learn and get better at SEO? So how can you do this? Simply through a conversation. And that's what we're going to talk about today. First, it's important to understand that you being different or your business being different should never be the goal of a sales conversation. The goal of the sales conversation should never be to highlight how unique you are as a business. It should be to help your prospective clients see how their lives might be different, how their outcomes might be different by working with you or buying from you. I'm going to say this again. The goal of your sales messaging and sales conversations is to differentiate yourself from isn't to differentiate yourself from the competition. It's to help for you to help your clients see how their lives can be different and better by working from or buying from you. The differentiator that matters in sales conversation is the one that the client or prospect experiences, and it has really very little to do with your business. So this is great news. This is how you can actually stand out in a crowded marketplace. Every conversation on differentiation should be focused on the end user. And if you do this, you are absolutely going to stand out from the other people in your marketplace. So I want to back this out a little bit and give you some very tangible tools to help you do this in the conversations that you have with your prospects. So the very first thing, I'm going to give you 3 tools. The first is, before you even worry about differentiating your business, differentiate who your clients are. What makes your clients unique? What makes the people who want to work with you different? What are the things that they're thinking about? This is where really having a narrow target market is incredibly helpful. Figure out, who are you uniquely positioned to serve, right? Is it startups? Is it businesses who are going to market in the next 6 months? Is it nonprofits who rely on grants for their funding? Is it parents that have a kid that's turning 16 in the next 6 months, right? You've got to narrow it down to who you're best suited to serve and what makes them unique. What are the unique things that they're experiencing? What are the unique ways that they're trying to solve this problem? What makes them different than the average consumer on the marketplace? Because that's the deal. Your customers want to be seen and heard, and we're going to talk about that in our step number 2. And the better you can do this, the more likely they are to remember you. So it's not about, I have this cool feature XYZ that's different. It's, you have this specific goal you're trying to reach, and you have these specific challenges and this specific worldview, and here's how we align with that and can help you reach their goals. So do you see the shift there and how that's a little bit different than just differentiating yourself and your unique features? So that is really going to help you stand out by understanding your prospective clients and speaking their language better than anyone else in the marketplace. The next thing is, in your sales conversation, ask your clients about their goals. Get really, really good at this. This is the most important sales skill that you need to master, is asking good questions that engage your prospects. We've got a great download that you can get for free on the website at My Time to Profit, specifically designed to help you with this. We'll post that down below and a link so you can get that. But you want to ask your clients about their goals. Ask them what's important to them other than price, to find out what's important to them. Sorry, I kind of got a little sidetracked there. So other than price. So there's 3 reasons that you're going to do this, right? It's, yes, you're getting a lot of information about the client. And this is why how you ask the question is really important. You want to ask it in a way that's genuine and authentic, and using what you've already identified about your target market to speak their language so that they open up to you. But once you get them to answer the questions about their goals, the first thing that this is going to help you do is it's going to help you to really check for alignment and fit. You want to check for alignment and fit as soon as possible as you can in any sales conversation. One thing I hear a lot is people, and we'll talk about this in the coming weeks, but is people talk about, man, I spent all this time with prospects and then they just ghost me, or they disappear, or they say no. How can I speed up the sales process? Part of this is by asking questions and recognizing that the goal of a sales conversation isn't necessarily to win the customer, but the first goal is always to check for alignment and fit. And so when you're asking about their goals, you're listening for, are they a good fit for us? Can we truly serve them? Can I truly serve them in my business? Am I the best business to help them with the goal that they have that they're reaching? So that's the very first thing that asking about their goals is going to do, is it's going to help you check for that alignment and fit, because you want to identify sooner rather than later if there's not a fit, so you don't waste your time or their time. The second thing that this is going to help you do is it's going to help position you in a way that you can use their language when you talk about the benefits of your product or service. You can come back to the goals that they've identified, which if you've done your homework in step number 1, you probably already have a sense of, but you can put it in their specific language so that they really are hearing that mirrored back to them, and how you're going to help them reach the goals that they want to achieve in the big picture. The third thing that this is going to do is that it's going to help your prospects feel seen and heard. Feeling seen and heard are basic human desires. That's how we form connections with each other. We all want to be seen and heard. And the more your clients feel seen and heard in your sales process, the more likely that they are going to want to do business with you. So there's that great Maya Angelou quote. I'm not going to get it exactly right. I don't have it written down in front of me, but right, people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And this is super true in the sales process as well. And when we talk about differentiation, they might not remember all of the features that you talked about that make your product or service unique, but they will remember that they felt seen and heard and valued, and that there was alignment and fit. And that's going to help you win more deals. So the third step when it comes to differentiation is to make it incredibly simple and easy for your potential customers to do business with you. The easier it is for your customers to do business with you, the more likely you are to win. Make it easier than your competitors. If you are going to differentiate on anything, ease is going to be the way that you can differentiate and make a huge impact. And not just ease in terms of once they've purchased, but in the actual purchase process itself. So I'm going to tell you guys this story. So I love getting my car washed. So not just like the outside, but like when they vacuum it and wipe it down. And I haven't found a place in Bend, Oregon yet that does a great inside-outside car wash. So every time I am up in Washington, I go to my old favorite car wash place and get my car washed, right? $16, easy breezy, happy to do it. And it always makes me feel like just like, oh, so much more relaxed. Last time I was in the Tri-Cities, up in Washington, I wanted to get my car washed, but I had my hair appointment. I was getting my hair done. And the lady doing my hair, I was telling her how after I was done getting my hair done, I was going to get my car washed and how I was so excited about this. It's really the simple things in life, but stick with me on this. So she's like, hey, there's this great place that I go to. This is the name of it. This is where it is. I think it's about $32, but they do a great job. And if you know anything about me, you know I will always try something once. If somebody's excited about it, I'm like, yeah, let me check it out. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go do that instead of my other car wash. I don't feel any sense of alignment or attachment or loyalty to my car wash place. I just go because it's where I go and it's easy and I know what to do. And this is the point. So then I go drive into this car wash, which is super hard to get into the car wash. And then I can't figure out how the car wash works. Like there's a sign with all these options, but there's no one out there. And it looks like you just drive your car through and then there's vacuums outside. So I'm like, do they do the whole thing? Where do you do that? And literally I'm like, I can't figure this out. And I don't want to think about it. So I'm going to go back to my regular car wash. So I had driven out of my way to try this other car wash. I was willing to spend twice as much money to get my car wash. But because it was complicated and I couldn't figure out how it worked quickly and easily, I went back to what I knew. Your prospective clients are the exact same as me when it comes to the car wash. So you've got to make it super simple and super easy for them to know what the next steps are. Sometimes we're so worried about being pushy or coming across as aggressive in a sales conversation that we shy away from actually making the process easy. Okay, where are you at? Are you ready to move forward and make a decision, or do you need more information? If you're ready to move forward, here's how we do that. It looks like X, Y, and Z. Do you want me to send you the paperwork? Right? Like, you're not doing it in a way that's like trying to manipulate them. You just want to make it easy. So if they want to say yes and they want to do business with you, that they know exactly what the steps are, what the timeline is, and what it looks like to be able to do that. So they don't get overwhelmed at the purchase point and just stay with what's comfortable. Okay, so that is super, super important. If you're going to differentiate it on anything besides how you're going to make your clients feel and knowing your clients better than anyone else, differentiate on how easy it is to get started doing business with you. So I want to summarize this, right? The first step is you're going to get really clear on who you can best serve and why, and what is unique about them. What's different about them? Think narrow here. You want to know them better than anybody else. Second, you're going to identify 2 to 3 questions that you can ask in your very first conversation with potential clients to help you understand their specific goals more clearly. Again, the goal is you want to know them better than anybody else. And then third, you're going to identify the simplest possible message and a clear path for how they are going to work with you. You want to make it easier than anyone else for them to get started working with you. So here's what I want you to do. That was a lot of information that I just threw at you in this video. is I want you to head on over to the Time to Profit Facebook group and share who you can best serve, why, and what makes them unique. What makes them different than other people in that segment? Be specific and clear in that. I will provide feedback on how you can get even more clear on that. And then if you want more tools to help you find and win your dream clients, head on over to mytimetoprofit.com. We are putting the link to the guide, the free guide that we have for helping you ask engaging questions with your prospect. It is a great resource that's going to help you ask questions at multiple different stages in a conversation, whether that's an initial first conversation at a networking event, whether that's in a proposal part of the conversation, to help you start thinking about what are the questions that you can be asking to really engage your prospects. So that's a free resource that you can download at mytimetoprofit.com, and I will see you next week.